Today I have the worst cash grab of a ripoff you've ever seen in your life. It's trying to piggyback off one of the most successful movie franchises ever made, which if you saw the title of the video, that's of course Star Wars. And there's been plenty of terrible Star Wars ripoffs. I mean, I think the infamous one is Turkish Star Wars, but at least that tried. At least that was entertainingly bad. This one is just mind-bogglingly awful, and it's the definition of lazy filmmaking. So without further ado, this is Zoo Wars from 2018. So just keep that in mind. This film came out 2 years ago. So no Star Wars ripoff will be complete without the iconic rolling text to give us some backstory on the film. And in this case, it tells us there's two opposing forces that have emerged. The mice side and the nice side.
Two opposing forces have emerged. The nice side and the mice side.
Mice as in actual mice, the animal. This film is basically just Star Wars with very poorly animated animals and about a fifth of the content. And we're then told that the mice side and the nice side have been battling for control over the most powerful force in the universe, the Source. Like actual sauces. Ketchup, mustard and all that shit. Then we're told that the last nice side warrior, not Obi-Wan Kenobi, but Bongo Bananas, I'm not joking, has vanished, and not Darth Vader but Boo Boo Squeals has become the leader of the mice side, and he's grown too strong. And not Princess Leia but Princess Sparkle Feathers, I'm not fucking joking. They must find her before time runs out, and they must find the Chosen One as well to save the universe. And if you're a bit confused about the stupid fucking names, then buckle up, because that's 3, and this is just the tip of the iceberg. We then cut to a scene with not Darth Vader but Boo Boo Squills himself, ranting about how he's the most powerful being in the universe and how he needs to destroy the Chosen One to rule the universe. I mean, we literally got the very same information at the start, but we do get a solid example of the hideous animation and very questionable voice acting.
Now get me some guacamole! I must replenish my sauce power!
All the movement is jarring as fuck and does not look fluid in any way, shape or form. After this, some more credits roll, and then we're introduced to our main character, who we think is the Chosen One. But this movie has one of the most absurd and ridiculous plot twists I've ever seen, so just hang in there. Turns out this elephant bloke is called Nuke. You know, like Luke, after Luke Skywalker. I bet they thought that was really clever. Someone thought that was fucking genius, didn't they? Anyway, Nuke is a coder who types out a code. I don't know, it never really explains it. I find it strange that they had a play on words for Luke and none of the other Star Wars characters bar one. They all have stupid names. It seems like they found the easiest rhyme, and then when it came to looking up a name, they just thought, oh no, that's too much effort, we can't do that. So they just gave him stupid names like Boo Boo Squeals and Bongo Bananas. Talking of him, Bongo Bananas randomly starts talking to Nuke, like totally out of the blue.
Nuke!
You again.
Sorry, overactive bladder syndrome.
And he says he needs to save the universe by pressing enter.
Hit enter and your destiny will be changed forever.
And then he's instantly teleported onto a ship where not C-3PO but B-52 is.
B-52 of the nice side robotic fleet.
This is such a huge issue with the film. Things just happen with no build-up or context whatsoever. So B-52 tells Nuke that Princess Sparklefeathers has gone missing and he's on a rescue mission to get her. However, he's not in the slightest bit surprised that this random elephant bloke, he has no idea who he is, has just materialised in his ship for no reason. And not once in the film does he question this. He just appears in his ship and tells him his secret plan. B-52 tells Nuke that they can rescue the princess once they've met up with a rebel smuggler squirrel.
Rebel squirrel named Squeezy Whistle.
Squeezy Whistle, of course, right. It's clearly meant to be Han Solo, but, you know, that's just too hard to find a play on words for that. The film then cuts back to Boo Boo Squeal, talking to not Boba Fett, but Two Flies, a frog bounty hunter who's captured the princess. And there's another issue here, surprisingly enough, which is they use really inconsistent measurements for money and time frames and other such things like that. Like Two Flies gets 3 gnats as payment, as in gnats the bug. Boo Boo Squirrel doesn't want to give him 2 gnats because 2 gnats is too many. It doesn't really make much sense. Why not use generic space currency so we can understand it? Also, time frames are weird. Nuke's friend says he's been working in the same place for 1 trillion plutonian ions.
How long have you been here?
Yeah, try 1 trillion plutonian ions, Snook.
Like, the closest thing is an eon, which is 1 billion years. And he's worked 22 trillion times that. There must be one hefty pension for working that long. Anyway, the film then cuts back to Nuke and B-52, about to catch up with Squeezy Whistle and meet him on his ship. And instead of, making a deal in some shady bar and having a shootout, Bongo Bananas tells Nuke to say bechamel. As in the sauce, bechamel.
Repeat after me! Bechamel!
Not bechamel again.
They're instantly teleported to Squeezy Whistle's ship, which is not the Millennium Falcon, it's the Cashew. Because squirrels like nuts.
Now, you can't spell nutrition without nut.
Anyway, Squeezy Whistle tells them to bugger off because he's not going to help.
Oh, yeah? Well, Princess Sparklefeather was wrong. Now see yourself off my ship.
After this, we get an attempt at a funny scene when Boo Boo Squeal's henchman calls him cute because he's a mouse and he's supposed to be cute, but he can't be cute because he's evil. It's so long-winded that it's just not funny, and it's clearly padding in this mess of a film. In revenge for calling him cute, Boo Boo Squeal threatens him with the dreaded power of the sauce, which is literally him just naming different condiments in front of him.
What will it be this time? Tabasco?
No, not the Tabasco.
Sriracha?
No, please, Boo Boo. No, not the Sriracha.
Here we go.
It's just, someone thought this was funny, someone thought this was genius. Like, I think it was probably done because either the animation was too limited or just too lazy to animate any actual visual effects. So they just had him getting scared while he named condiments. And this happens again in the very next scene when Boo Boo Squeal interrogates the princess and does the same thing, just with different sauces.
Hoisin sauce!
No, not hoisin!
Teriyaki!
No, your power is strong.
Alfredo!
Apparently this guy is a threat to the entire universe, but all he does is spend the whole film reciting condiments. And they cut back to him doing this several times in the movie, maybe in an attempt to force you to find it funny because you've seen it so many times. So by this point, B-52 and Nuke have convinced Squeezy to help them, and they need to go and visit not Jabba the Hutt, but Jabba the Jaw, who is a pink crocodile who only refers to himself in the third person.
Jabba has no friends. You must keep your visit brief, as Jabba has business to attend to.
This is a super weird scene because it tries to mimic the original Jabba meeting, but does a fantastic job of showing how very limited the movement is in this movie. So Jabba tells them that he's a very busy man and that they have 5 cosmic seconds to tell him what they need.
You got 5 cosmic seconds.
And you'd think this is just another made up time frame, but no, cosmic seconds are a real thing. And I looked it up, 1 cosmic second is 438 years, which means they technically have 2,190 years for this conversation. Either the people who made this film are very, very lazy, or the people in this universe have very long lifespans. Honestly, I'm really struggling to know which one it is. So after a very long conversation with Jabba the Jaw, like 10 minutes long, he tells them that Bongo is chilling in another dimension and that they won't be able to get there. However, Bongo just starts to randomly speak to Nuke and tells him to remember what he said at the start of the film, which basically just comes down to, was it Nuke just shouting fucking bechamel, and then he's sent right to Bongo.
Coffee bechamel!
Which means this whole meeting with Jabba and this scene was completely pointless when he could have just shouted bechamel and gone straight to him. But then there's this random 1-minute scene where Boo Boo just yeets this guy across the universe.
Marinara!
This movie had 10 out of 10 on IMDb at one point. I think it was lying. Anyway, we pick up with Bongo and Squeezy and Nuke, who proceed to have a 10-minute uninterrupted conversation with some very forced plot points, because clearly anyone watching this would have no idea what's going on. Now here is the horrid plot twist I was talking about. Apparently Nuke is not the chosen one, but he was very powerful and he became too powerful and Bongo Bananas had to erase his memory. However, someone else was there who learned the ways of the Source and became just as powerful. A flea, Filippo the Flea, like an... Fuck this movie. Oh my god.
I'm Filippo the Flea!
Filippo the Flea! The chosen one!
Anyway, there was a flea in his ear, and he was the chosen one the whole time and not Nuke. And the only reason he couldn't help is because he got stuck in Nuke's earwax. So you're telling me that the most powerful person in the universe couldn't escape someone's ear, and Boo Boo, who is apparently equal to him, can just think ships away to the end of the universe.
Why are we still here?
Here I am!
Just to suffer. Every night,
I'm Filippo the Flea!
I can feel my leg and my arm.
This has to be the worst plot twist ever. It's so unbelievably stupid. Anyway, so after their 10-minute uninterrupted conversation, the showdown with Boo Boo finally happens, and do you want to have a guess how it plays out? Filippo makes him itch and he surrenders. It lasts under a minute and a half, and then Squeezy and Sparkle Feathers get married.
You may now kiss the bride.
Oh yeah, make sure to clip that trunk right through his face. And that's the movie. Well, it should come as no surprise that this film is awful. It takes place in a grand total of 5 lifeless locations. The characters never move, and when they do it looks very unnatural and jarring. The plot is useless because things just happen. Nuke says bechamel and the plot instantly gets advanced with no context or build-up. The characters are all very shallow and unlikable, and you just don't know anything about them. And the twist at the end is awful. It's the worst twist ever. You wait an hour and 10 minutes to find out the character you've been following for an hour and 10 minutes was never special, and then that the chosen one was someone you never actually see. However, the worst thing might very well be the sequel. It's not worth covering because they reuse most of the same shots and just redub them with new audio. I'm not joking, I thought I was watching the same movie. The only film I know that does this is Furious Female Freedom Fighters, and that's a trauma movie. When you're diving to trauma levels of quality without the entertainment value, you should stop making movies. At least trauma films are fun to watch, this is just awful. Anyway, you can check out this movie if you want, it's free on YouTube, it's pretty awful. If you enjoyed the video, please leave a like, comment and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one.